don't hate the messenger, okay? Apple is not going to be releasing an updated iPad mini at its Let Loose event on May 7th. But don't worry, it's coming soon. Apple last updated the iPad mini in 2021, and despite being the smallest tablet in Apple's lineup, it still packed quite a punch and has become a fan favorite. The current version already has USB-C and support for the second generation Apple Pencil. So what new features can we expect to see with the update? Just new colors? Well, one of the initial complaints with the 2021 redesign was the display occasionally had a jelly scrolling effect. This occurred when you held the device in portrait orientation and scrolled quickly. The left side of the screen could refresh before the right side, making it look like the lines of text were slanted. In motion, this made it look jelly-like. Apple stated at the time that this is typical behavior for an LCD display, but is still looking to correct that issue going forward. It's been speculated that they'll simply rotate the display assembly 90 degrees to lessen the effect, but that'll literally just shift the problem, and is a very un-Apple-like solution. To address it, we may see a change to the display stack entirely. That doesn't mean a change to a new display technology, though. In fact, rumors have suggested that won't happen until the move to OLED in 2026. This would be more of a refinement of what we currently have. That has caused some to hope that we'd see 120Hz ProMotion in this update, but supply chain reports have nixed that for this time around. We should also see support for the new high-end Apple Pencil that will be unveiled at the upcoming spring Let Loose event. If you're watching this before May 7th, I've linked a video above that goes over all of the rumors for the popular stylus, but if you're watching it after the event, I've replaced it with a whole comparison video covering every new feature that was actually introduced. On to the processors. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to drop in like that, but did you know that I use a VPN on my iPhone every single day? Because it is the easiest way to keep my data safe. If you don't use a VPN yet, or you're maybe in the market for a new one, let me introduce you to my sponsor for this video, IPVanish. IPVanish is an industry-leading VPN service with more than 2,200 servers across over 75 locations around the world. What IPVanish does is pass your browsing data through an AES 256 encrypted server, which protects your passwords, financial data, browsing history, and file transfers safe from third-party interception. This is especially important when on an open network, like the dreaded free public Wi-Fi. It can also shield your location data, so you can bypass region-based restrictions. I can watch the Guardians or the Browns games from literally anywhere now. There's a slick kill switch feature that automatically suspends all internet access when the VPN isn't connected, and support for split tunneling, which allows you to choose any apps or sites you want to exclude from the VPN. Here's what I really like about IPVanish though, and that sets it apart from other VPN providers. It's made here in the US, and it is third-party audited to verify there's no user traffic being logged. And in the off chance you ever do have any issues, they offer free one-to-one live phone support 7 days a week. If you're ready to protect your data and identity, check out ipvanish.com/AppleInsider and save on yearly subscriptions. Thanks again to IPVanish for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to it. The 6th generation iPad mini is rocking an A15 Bionic processor, which at the time was quite the chip to put in this pint-sized tablet. With the upcoming 7th generation, Apple is expected to replace the aging A15 with a much more modern A17 or even an A18 processor. Apple's A18 chip is rumored to be a big overhaul. Leaked Geekbench results on Twitter seem to show that in single-core performance, the A18 is 55% faster than the existing A15 Bionic. That is a massive boost. As MaxTech's Vadim points out, these leaked numbers are likely from some sort of prototype iPhone that does not have to take into consideration thermals or battery efficiency, so the actual numbers will likely be lower, but it's still really impressive. Regardless of which chip it gets, either A17 or the A18 series, they'll bring other improvements along for the ride. For example, we'll see Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3 at an absolute minimum. Apple Silicon also includes the image signal processor. So even though the iPad mini already has dual 12 megapixel cameras, a processor bump alone would deliver better image quality thanks to that improved ISP. I wouldn't be surprised to see Apple improve the sensors as well, but it's safe to assume that the cameras are going to look better, even if the megapixel count stays the same. I've told you in multiple other videos that I expect to see the front-facing camera move to the landscape orientation for both the new iPad Air and the new iPad Pro. But I don't think that's going to happen with the iPad mini. I expect we'll see that front-facing camera stay exactly where it is. So what about a release date? If you haven't guessed by my suggestion of the A18 processor, this tablet will not be arriving in the first half of this year. While Mark Gurman agrees that the entire iPad lineup will be upgraded in 2024, Ming-Chi Kuo has more specifically said that the iPad mini is coming in the second half of this year. That puts a release date for the 7th generation iPad mini squarely in the September-October timeframe. As for pricing, I don't expect it'll deviate much from what we have now, starting off at $499 for that base configuration and going to $649 for the 5G cellular version. I absolutely adore the iPad mini. I think it is an incredible tablet with a spectacular form factor. I hate Touch ID here and would much prefer Face ID, but that's just not going to happen this time around. I'm still stoked for that performance boost though. Let me know what your ideal iPad would be down below in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so I can update you the second that Apple makes the new iPad mini official.